Hey guys, this is Kelly. I am back with a process video. This layout is for Stuck Sketches and it is their September 1st reveal. And the sketch is an incredibly cool sketch. I think it calls for a lot of different strips of pattern paper to be used behind one photo. It can easily be adapted to 2 or 3 smaller photos though, or at least I think it can. I am going to use this one photo and I did trim it down to 3.5 by 5, and the reason I trimmed it down was because I knew that I had these washi strips from the Felicity Jane kit that I have pulled out to use, and I knew that the washi strips were 6 inches. I also took into consideration that I most always mat my photo, and I really wanted the washi strips to at least be the same length as the photo, even though I'm going to place them down in different spots on the page. I just feel like that length makes for a better length when it comes to the size and the distribution of the pattern papers. So I'm just pulling through, going through different pattern papers. The colors that I have in mind for this are aqua, pink, and navy. This particular page is going to go in my daughter's school album. I have a school album for them both, and when I have photos of them together, sometimes I'll either put it in the family album or I will just tailor it for one or the other. And because her shirt had the blue and the pink and this kit had that with the pops of aqua, I just thought it would be a fun combination. Navy is one of my favorite colors to scrapbook with. Even though it's dark, it's a little bit more difficult for me. I do love, love, love the look of navy. So I'm going to be honest with you, this layout took me about an hour and a half, which when you look at how the layout came out in the end, it's crazy that it took me that long. I shuffled the paper strips around quite a bit, just trying to find a good balance. I wanted the colors and the patterns to be just in a pleasing balance, at least for me. And I wanted to make sure that the pops of navy that I had weren't too dark, because I wanted the layout to be light and bright. So I'm using different things. I'm using the washi strips, I'm using the branding strips off of pattern paper. I'm cutting into pattern papers that I've already maybe trimmed off a little bit. I didn't really want to cut into a brand new strip of paper if I didn't have to. And I think that I was able to succeed without doing that. This layout or this sketch is perfect for a bunch of branding strips or for you to bust your stash and go into, your pattern papers and pull out some things that you like the look of. It is so easy to make a bright and colorful layout, or this would really be cool if it were monochromatic as well. This is also a great sketch to use your border punches, and I decided that I wanted to use 2 border punches on this. I am going to use my favorite scallop, and I trim the scallops to where it's half a scallop on the end. I think that just looks more pleasing, or at least it does to me. And then the second punch I'm going to use a little bit later is a notebook punch, and I'm going to take a paler pink and use that. And I just, I like that because it definitely gives a nod to school, but it doesn't have necessarily school themed products. So as I'm putting these paper strips down, I'm just using a little bit of adhesive. I know that I want to, surprise, surprise, stitch with my sewing machine. I'm going to use I want to say scallop, it's not scallop. Oh my goodness, I can't think. The zigzag stitch. I'm going to use that and a straight stitch and vary the stitches down the different pattern paper strips just to add a little bit more visual interest without adding more patterns or more colors. And I like things like that because I think that those little details are what really make a layout shine. So this is another branding strip that I want to use. It does repeat the same pattern as the black and white that I have. It's just in a smaller scale, plus it brings in all of the colors that I'm using. And I like to do things like that because I feel like it helps to pull the layout together. So I have stripes, I have polka dots, I have the little plus signs, I have some solid papers. I think just by doing the different designs, just having that one strip of the multicolor paper helps to pull in everything. So when I was punching my notebook edge, I messed it up, but I decided that I was going to just crumple up the edges and let it go. My perfectionist side was not showing at that moment, and it was very easy for me to make that work. So don't feel like just because you mess up something that you cannot make it work. Sometimes it can be creatively hidden, and in this case you can't even tell once you ruffle up the edges of the punch. So I've decided that I want to bring in some more of that navy, and I decided to tear the strip of washi just for, again, another visual for more visual interest, I guess I should say. And I'm going to go ahead and tear the bottom one, and I tore the top one off a little bit. It was a little too short in its length, so I just layered them up. And once I put the pattern paper on top, you really can't tell that it's two pieces layered, even though when you're looking at it now you can see that it's dark. So again, a lot of times your mistakes can be hidden if you're just a little creative with, you know, your embellishment or your pattern paper placement. So again, I'm going to go ahead and get things stuck down, and I am going to mat my photo. I'm not sure if I want to use the aqua or the navy, and I decide that I think that I want both of them. And then I just look at it with the navy blue and white dot and think that it really pops off of that pattern paper. So I'm just going to go simple. Because there are so many different pattern papers, I don't feel the need to have a lot of pattern papers behind my photo mat. I don't want to have something interfere with the back of the layout. I want that to shine. So I start pulling out some of the embellishments that I think I want to use, and before I play, I decide to go ahead and take the layout to my sewing machine. And while I was sewing, one of my drawers was a little bit open, and I looked down and I saw that I had these photo corners. They are from Chatterbox. Now, if you've been scrapping for a long time, you will remember Chatterbox. I want to say this is easily 12, 13, 14 years old, easily. And I pulled these out and I thought, you know what? I think this blue photo corner will match the blue in my paper. And sure enough, it did. So I was just so pleased that I was able to pull out a product that I have had that long and use it on my layout. Granted, they're just photo corners, but still, anything that, you know, you can keep in your stash for that long and that you still like is definitely a win-win. So I used my T-square ruler to line up my title, and I thought it would be a cute little nod to the two of them, and just, you know, a different title to have the number 2 back in the title. And I am just messing with the stamps. Every Felicity Jane kit comes with some stamps, and this one had Best Year Yet, and I thought that that would be really cute to be stamped underneath the hearts. Now, once again, I am going to stitch through those hearts, so I've just put a little bit of adhesive underneath. That's why you see them curling up, and in the close-ups you will see where I stitched through the center of that, again just to add a little bit more visual interest without overwhelming the page. So I'm going to tape down the photo corners because I don't want them to move, and I realized that I don't want to add journaling onto the layout itself because the background is a little bit busy, and I want the focus to be on the photo, and I'm going to just put this tag in a glassine envelope that I have saved probably from a Cocoa Daisy kit, and I'm just using some washi to tape the hole up. It doesn't matter what the glassine bag looks like, you won't see it because I'm going to put it behind the photo, so it's just going to help make that tag be easy to slide in and out. So that's it pretty much for me. I will come back at the end and show you some close-ups. For whatever reason, I did not video me adhering the last little bit of embellishment. I think it was because I took the layout over to sew down the hearts and I just forgot to turn the camera back on. But again, thanks for joining me. Be sure and check out the link to Stuck Sketches and you can see what other designers have created. They did some amazing work with this. So I hope you guys have a great day and I will see you soon. Take care.